We usually say you budget for the things that you love. So budgeting doesn't mean that you will allocate all monies to investments and savings and stocks and everything else. Budgeting is actually telling your money where to go. Yeah. Instead of wondering where it went. That's a famous quote by Dave Ramsey of the US. And so once you tell it to go towards entertainment, it means that you are actually living life in your own terms. You're not doing it because other people are doing it. You're not doing it because there's a lot of pressure. So you're saying, I have the needs, which I'll cater for them by 50% of my income. I have my wants. I want to live an enjoyable life, a meaningful life, quality life. And so you go out once, as you said, all the things that you described, yeah, without going too much into it. And then you're also saying that I have to protect my future. So I set aside the 20% to 30%, depending on how fast you want to accelerate that pace. So it's proper for you to actually budget for the things that you love doing.
Okay. So quickly, the can I say categories of people? Young, can I say those who are just about to retire?
Yes.
People are still in the middle and all that. Do you think they should have like different goals when it comes to personal financial management?
Absolutely, absolutely. For someone, there are usually stages as you grow. So there is someone who is in the formative stages, and at that point, maybe your distribution of that 50, 30, 20 might be different because you are young, you don't have so many obligations. And so what you want to do is to accelerate the pace at which your money is growing. So because you don't have children, for example, so you might say a bigger chunk of my income is going towards building a buffer for myself so that I start early and I have a foundation. When you start having school fees commitments, that's the time you want to buy property and all that, then you can reduce probably on how much is going into maybe entertainment, and you say, let me focus on building my family and my obligations. And then later on, when you're a bit older, you may not have so many obligations. Again, your life has slowed down and all that. So maybe where your money is going to is different from the person who is growing or someone who is in the middle ages. So different people will have different ways of managing their money, and that's now where financial advisory comes in. Because then we are able to look at where you are, and we look at what your obligations are and aspirations, and then we can craft for you a journey that you can be able to take. Of course, looking ahead also at retirement. I'm sure the joke that they say when you're young, you have too much time, but you don't have money. When you grow older, you know how it goes. And then later on in life, you have too much money, but you don't have the energy to even spend that money. Yes.
Thank you so much, Stephen Kimuyu, for coming in and just talking to us about personal financial management. There's a lot to unpack, definitely. We cannot unpack everything in the few minutes that we've been able to talk. But I want to believe with what you've shared, people are able to pick. And again, it's all about intentions. So you can listen and let it flow, or you can listen and just start taking those baby steps. It's not so much, if I've understood what you're saying, it's not so much about how much you put in the savings or the different, investments that you want and all that, but it's the habit that you're building. And then, even I was talking to somebody before we came in for this particular show, and I was like, even our grandmothers or traditionally, when you plant, then they will keep seed for the next season. So money is like a seed. Yes, you spend it, and there you go. So thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
I would have loved to give you more time to talk to us, but we have to continue with the news. But we've been talking to Stephen Kimuyu. He is a financial literacy expert. He's talked to us about personal, financial management. Hope you've gotten one or two things that you can do just to get started. It's the beginning of the year. Maybe by December, you will be, smiling all the way to the bank.